Yes, sir. We are back with another JJK Modulo review. This time being the final chapter. Well, technically not the finale for real, but technically they said. Let me do the double check here right here. It's supposed to be like another chapter in May. Final volume of the manga releases on May 1st. Yeah, May 1st. But technically, the finale, chapter 25. And as you guys know, as you see, it's been a hot minute since I posted on the channel, like 8 days. Well, video wise, I haven't posted in 8 days. But giving y'all content wise, I posted like 2 days ago because I was doing live streams and whatnot. So, tap into live streams, Twitch, YouTube. I post funny thumbnails. Not funny. I post thumbnails I think are kind of cool, bro. Like, again, I don't always like doing this, but like every now and then I kind of have to flex. We're gonna look at this later. But when it comes to my thumbnail game, bro, she's amazing. I like this one. This one was peak. Like, bro, like just random shit, man, and it works. It works. I don't know why. This during the it was like a Baldur's Gate 3 run. We're gonna hop back on Baldur's Gate 3. Don't worry. I know it's been 2 months. Dang, actual hot minute. Crazy. But you're not here for that. We're talking about JJK. And this ending, I actually thought Gege landed pretty well. Like, people are like, I don't know what's going on right now. Maybe it's just confusion on my part. Because did he fumble JJK part 1? Sure, you can say the ending felt a bit rushed. Things were just like happening like bang, bang, bang. But I feel like with this one, the landing was better. I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Because going back from it, what chapter? What was our last chapter again? Let me check. Pretty sure it was chapter 22. Yeah, 22 was our last chapter we read, so it's 23, 24. So when it comes to 23, now it's kind of going over the semantics of, like, what Maru's going to do and how, like, getting rid of curse energy is going to, like, affect the world and whatnot, and how Eugene, Maru trying to, like, figure this out. Because they come to the conclusion, like, we can't get rid of all cursed energy because, like, in places outside of Japan, there are still, like, cursed spirits that are still rare, but they still pop up. There's, like, always going to be a faint hint of cursed energy somewhere. So you can't get rid of all cursed energy, but you will get rid of a good amount of it if you do this. At the same time, get rid of the curses as well. So they're doing that, but also they're trying to find harmony between, the Sumerians and humans, or the Japanese. And the conclusion we also figure out is, like, the reason why the Sumerians see curses as Kalayans is because they share like the same soul color, if I worded that correctly. So to fix that, I think he changed the color of how they saw cursed spirit souls, but at the same time, the future Sumerians, their spirit color can be different now. So the Kalayans are going to be attacking the next generation of Sumerians, if that makes sense. We might as well just pull up the exact quote. I feel like that was just, let's see, that was 23. It was, I think, not here, not here. All right, I think I found it. Bang. But in that case, the conflict over cursed spirits between Earthlings and Sumerians will just continue. Then we should include the cursed spirits in our harmony. Let's remove the reasons why the Sumerians confuse cursed spirits for Kalayans. So yeah, they're removing cursed spirits all the way. You won't call this necessary, but there was a part with spirits and cursed. That can be done, but things are like cursed spirits aren't inherently evil. Long ago. The reason why Kalayans attack everyone but remains be that it sends from an evil nature like that of a cursed spirit. Cover of the spirit is the same. There it is. There are various colors of soul. Okay, I think this part right here. There are various colors of souls, but only Kalayans, Lemurians, and cursed spirits have the same. Cursed spirits are vessels formed by lead cursed energy. The problem is the spirit remained in the vessel, and having a spirit color similar to Kalayans and Lemurians. That's why I perceive that cursed spirits have the same nature as Kalayans, and Kalayans won't attack Lemurians for the same reason. So it wasn't a reason to attack, but a reason not to attack. But the contradiction of cursed spirit functioning as vessels for souls despite not having physical substance created a common trait that sacred creatures across the stars. A common trait with sacred creatures across the stars. Is there anything we can do? We can't change the color of energy, but we can do something. Instead, affecting the souls that are to be doing directly. Okay, yeah, so that part right there. Okay, so I got it. Trust yourself. So we got done with that part, right? He ends up getting rid of the cursed spirits and whatnot. And then, like, it's a cool moment between, like, the whole friend group. I'll also just pull that up, too, right? Yeah, I think it's, like, right here. He does it. So he probably just saves everybody. Like, people were calling this a little bit Disney, but, like, again, him and Cross's curse technique is kind of like a... Is it the term ex machina or MacGuffin? The point is, his curse technique can almost do anything. You know, it's the power to grant wishes almost. Like, he's practically like a wish being. Whatever he wishes kind of come true. This is a weird curse technique. And because of, like, the way to describe it, you can kind of do whatever if need be. But he needed some help. The help being with Yuji and Mahito. Also, we got which was kind of upsetting too. I think people were talking about this. I feel like this was kind of upsetting too. The great battle between Maharaga and Deborah, bro. We didn't get a conclusion, but somehow the battle's over, and Deborah's in Africa now, and he got the black rope. And then he also cured the curse off his younger sister too. So that happened. I'm like, all right, that's cool. But again, there was like no real conclusion with Deborah versus Maharaga. Like, it was kind of just domain expansion. Next chapter, Mahito's back. Here's Yuji. One tap Mahito. That's that. Like, I would have preferred to see, you know, the conclusion of that fight, because that was a pretty good fight. Like, that was pretty. Like, of all the fights going on, that was probably my favorite, to be honest. Like, Maru versus Saguri, that was cool. It was decent and fusing with Rika. But I know, I feel like Maharaga fights, they never miss. Like, Maharaga is just the aura of being, you know, the greatest loser. Or the one to, yeah, the greatest. He is kind of like the greatest loser, to be honest. But again, there's like this one quote saying, you don't judge the test if someone passes. It will, like, what's the analogy I'm looking for? You don't blame the test if someone passes. You only blame the person who fails the test. Maharaga being the test, you know what I mean? So, like, if you beat Maharaga, that's not a diss of Maharaga. That's a win for you. But if you fail to beat Maharaga, that's a diss of you because you failed the test. You know what I mean? The test job is, as the name implies, to see what you're capable of. To see if you can pass this course to succeed to be the strongest. Whatever. Moving on to the next chapter. It was kind of going over, like, the aftermath of everything, the politics of it. And we even got to see, like, a conversation between Dobara and Yuji as well. And then also Yuji, like, just took Panda out the inventory as well, like, just pulled up, got Panda and went somewhere else. But no, chapter 23, what's going on back there? No, 24, I mean. That was just mainly the aftermath of everything. And also at the same time, Doboro's back on his home planet, and he's now the clan leader. He, like, took out the old head, then declared, like, oh, listen, we're going to have a statue of my homeboy. I think his name was, it's not Dakota. Brother. It's been a minute. Dula. Jesus. I'll pull this up too. So there it is. Let me minimize this. So it'll be like a crypt for Dula. Then at that point, he doesn't know what he wants to do. But, like, at this point, There we go. Don't really know politics, but it's okay. He's good. He's a good dude. A good dude. He came in, took out like this corrupt leader, threw his. That was kind of cool, fresh. I'm not gonna lie. The boy was a fresh dude, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. The boy was pretty cool. Just a low key nonchalant dude. So yeah, now this at this point. Okay, yeah, I could go back now. At this point, chapter 25 is talking to Nobara, and then Mario and Cross talked about like what they did and trying to figure out what they do with the Kalanians now, because like now future Sumerians, again like I said earlier, have a different color spirit. So at that point, Kalanians are going to be now attacking their children. So now they're to decide, should we just kill the Kalanians or what's to do, or just let them kill our children? And they said we're going to figure that out on the way, because like again, we live with the Kalanians so long, they're a part of our culture, like they are our family. Let's just kill them off would be horrible, but at the same time, just throw them away from us is also not do as well. Like we're going to figure out some way live a coexistence with them. That was cool. Then the talk with Nobar was interesting as well, because they were mainly talking about like the future of society at this point. Because Christian spirits are going to be popping up still very infrequently though, but still going to be popping up. So like trained sorcerers nowadays to deal with them with barrier techniques and whatnot. Then also, trying to find heavily restricted people, because like those guys are going to be popping up as well more frequently. Usually said in the later generations. So that's interesting. At the same time, getting weapons, cursed weapons and whatnot, or tools, that's what I'm looking for. So then the next generation could have those things to fight cursed spirits if need be. And then like the biggest, I say, twist of the chapter was usually saying, but he also wants to figure out how he himself could become a cursed spirit, so in case something, major happens, someone could just, eat him, and then, usually just come back practically and help out. So I kind of think it's a cool idea, and like they are kind of setting up for like a Jujutsu Kaisen Super at this point. I don't know what you want to call it next, because we were calling this one JJK Shippuden, to be honest. I think this is the one we all kind of decided on. And then this one will be like JJK Next Generations. Will be kind of interesting. But if you really think about it, this really is more of, if we're just like comparing the two, this is really more like a JJK Next Generations, because it's like the grandkids of the what's he face, the old sorcerers and whatnot, and not like the very, I don't know, that was a weird tangent. My bad, y'all. So that's pretty cool. And then Toto was always mentioned like trying to figure out like how they're gonna plan out the next generation, like how to help out these next sorcerers and whatnot. So it was really just an all-around cool chapter like that. Like, again, seeing Nobara healthy and well. Yuji having, like, some light in his eyes, having his friend talking to her and whatnot. And also, I want to go back to... I don't want to misquote Mance. I'm going to transition here. Because he did mention how he kind of dropped the ball, and that these new kids kind of inspired him to do better again. Okay. I was afraid. Afraid of my friends dying off. Afraid of the fact that I'm a death painting of being stuck between curse and man, just like Chosa was, and how people would react to me. I got scared. Mm-hmm. And what is it? I believe I should interfere with the current generation for a while. I shouldn't. I should have gotten all shriveled up and kicked the bucket by now. When you stop but when you stop looking at today, looking at the past or future becomes impossible. Yeah, they're pretty similar concepts. While I was busy looking for a way to change my way of life, I disregarded what I must. What the aliens are currently doing is something I had given up on decades ago. I should have done this with my own power. You gotta help others. This is probably Megami. No, this is his grandpa. I'm tweaking. I won't describe my purpose any longer. There's something I need to do, and I need your help to do it, Kurosaki. And then talking. Okay, then they just explain everything I was talking about earlier. So yeah, he had a moment. I feel like again the children helped him not be underpressed, but kind of like find his purpose again. He kind of like lost his purpose. Being alive for so long, lose all his friends, and it's like, what's the point? And then these kids kind of did what he was supposed to. He was like, wait a second, these kids did what I was supposed to do this entire time with what I could have done, and now because of that kind of kicked him back to gear. Like, let me lock in and kind of try to help this next generation like I was supposed to do a while ago. So that was cool. And then the chapter kind of ended with, happy-go-lucky people talking about, again, politics of it, like how people might try to blame the Sumerians for, like, this whole shift and whatnot. And then Yuji, in a flashback, said he could just blame everything on me. And then them just playing baseball, chatting it up, just a very cutesy moment. Thought it was cool. And then chapter ends with that cook from a couple chapters ago had a crush on Deborah and Yuka talking, and that's how it ended. Yeah, let me scroll back down. Yeah. The crush. Oh yeah, there was something about the recording of the fight. I mean, yeah, that was kind of right. Great Devil. 69. That's insane. 69 years ago. Alien find the curse. The demon for us. Move to tears. This clan right here. And yeah. Excuse me. No. What? I was in transition that entire time? Oh my god. So, I'll scroll back up, but yeah. The fight was recorded. They were talking about it. Kind of mundane stuff, to be honest. I think this is important right here. Our curse technique, chaos and harmony. I'm sure that they truly are wishes. Everyone's wishes and aims for a bright future so they can be happy. So some may get hurt in the process. Even still, we should be able to wish for our and other people's happiness. Please tell me more about Earth and yourselves. Sure. And again, just a very sweet homestead moment at the end. Then, again, her talking about Deborah. And then it ends like this. So again, might be Deborah, might not, who's to say. But, the next chapter will come out May 1st, they said. But overall, yapping done, summary done, and whatnot. I enjoy these final 3 chapters. I don't get the hate behind it. Maybe y'all can tell me in the comments below, but I feel like overall, it was a decent landing. Hiccups, I say the ending of the Deborah fight. Again, we should have probably saw that once. See what the main did. But besides that, the use of Mario's curse technique, usually find a second fire, and then like this setup too for like the next generation of sorcerers and like fighting cursed spirits and whatnot. Usually want to become a cursed tool or object. It's just all cool stuff. A lot of good setup if they want to continue on. But again, they could just stop right here, like they did with JJK Part 1. They could just stop right there. People have been okay. Yeah, the ending was meh, but they could stop right there. But then this setup too, a fun little, not even a one-shot, mini-series. A good 25 chapters, bro. Like, this lasted for, like, what? Almost a year, I think, right? I think so, yeah. 25 weeks? 25 weeks is how many? 25 weeks to days. 175 days. That's not bad. That's not bad. That was like, what? Yeah, 6 months? Like half a year of content, bro. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Solid read. Can't wait to see what they're going to do next with this series. Again, they can stop right here if they want to. Take a break. Come back. They could do whatever. The possibilities right now for the series is kind of endless. They could go a whole lot of different routes. And I'm curious. Because like now, you got these aliens on your planet. At the same time, you got these Kalanians too that are kind of like cursed spirits that are like practically immortal as well. So like there's a lot of cool stuff you can do. And again, you could do like another huge time skip again. Maybe like a 200 years in the future. Or maybe like another, I feel like a big jump, like maybe like 1,000 years in the future. See how that goes. I feel like that'll be interesting. Because again, like the aliens on the planet and whatnot. Mixed breeding, how that will work. Just a lot of cool stuff. And then with the Kalanians too, like how they interact with the world. Being like a technical spirit, but that is mortal that just stays around, but are aggro to other people. Because they're the different color of souls. It's just a lot of cool stuff can happen. I'm curious to see what could go on. But yeah, that is it for this video. Glad to be back. Hopefully y'all enjoyed me yapping. If you did, please like, subscribe, all that great, amazing, lovely stuff. And I'll catch you guys next time, okay? Be easy.